Hi, everyone. It's time for Julie's Jewels. And I think I've worn this top before, so I'm coming around on the loop of my preferred tops for this series, which is interesting. All right, so I'm going to do two jewels today. The stated reason is these are so powerful and amazing that I don't want the third to dilute the value of the other two. But the thing I'm not saying, which I'm now saying anyway, is I'm tired. This has been a very busy week. So, I'm going to focus on the two because they're both so amazing. Okay. So the first jewel I have for you today has to do with work I'm doing with a client who is in a biotech, and she's got her own team and she's a senior person in the organization. And a lot of her work relies on work from other people, cross-functional people outside of her span of control. So the jewel I want to bring to you today is how to influence without authority. So in even flat organizations, you have like some degree of hierarchy, but in most organizations there's some hierarchy. And in the really, top down, like manage and control organizations, you can fall back on the hierarchy. Like it's like a parent, like, well, I don't need to give you a reason for doing this. It's because I said so. Obviously, we don't want organizations to function like that and to be demanding like that, command and control like that. But the reality is we can usually fall back on that. But what happens in a situation where your work product is a compilation of other people's work and you don't have control or authority over them? You have to use influence. So I came up with an acronym to support you to get into the how to do that. And it's RARA, which makes sense because you actually need to be a cheerleader and like you don't have power over them. You don't have control over them. RARA, R. First is relationship. I've said this before in other videos. Relationships are extremely, extremely important. So especially with cross-functional folks over whom you don't have authority and power and control, you need to build genuine relationship. The second is acknowledgement. Acknowledgement. Thank you. I appreciate you. Here's the importance of what I need to get from you. Like talking about the impact, acknowledgement of their part, and also like acknowledgement for the work that they're doing and the fact that they don't have to. I mean, they do, but they don't have to. And I'm not going to be able to tell you, you have to. So acknowledgement of the situation. The second R in RARA is reciprocity. So if you're in relationship with somebody, the ask I have of you is to be willing to say, like, what can I do to support you? How can I help you to do your job better? Since you're asking for their help, you need to be willing to give it back. Reciprocity. And then the last A, so there's no H in RARA, in my RARA, it's RARA. The last A is accountability. So, and again, the A that I'm telling you about now hinges on that first R, relationship. When you're in relationship with somebody, you can hold them accountable. You have more space because you've developed that relationship and that foundation. So you can go back and follow up with them and say, hey, I've noticed we've passed the deadline where you said you were going to give me this thing. What's going on? Do you need some help? But you have to be willing to do that. And it's challenging to hold somebody accountable when you don't have authority over them. Again, it hinges on a relationship. So rah-rah for influence without authority. The second jewel I have for you is about how we relate to something we really want. And I'll say up front, what I'm asking you to do is get off the axis of resignation and attachment and move into the realm of commitment. So that's the jewel. And let me say more about that. So often when we really care about something we want, we can get overly attached to getting that exact thing in that exact packaging with that exact color, right? And we're like white knuckling it, like I gotta get it this way. And that's me. That's where I tend to fall if I'm going to be on that axis. The other side is resignation, like, oh, I didn't get that thing. I can't do it. I'm just going to quit. So perseverating and like fixating on the exact way it has to be on your timetable and like all of the things you're like, I gotta get it this way versus I quit. I just give up. In either of those scenarios, you're less powerful than you can be because you're sort of a victim of the thing. We said in our coach training program, you're at the effect of it. You're sort of like, you're not in charge of this conversation. You're ceding some of your power and agency to the energy of this thing you really want. So alternatively, I encourage you to come from a place of commitment. I really care about this thing. I really want it, but what is my commitment to it? So I'll give you a quick, it might not be quick. I'll give you an example. So my colleague Emily Golden and I have been working really hard together to create offerings around supporting women to be stronger self-advocates at work. And I am like, this is my passion project for my life, honestly. Like, this is something I deeply care about, and we've put together lots of different programs. And so this week we delivered 2 webinars. We had, I don't know the number of people who actually attended because I wasn't in control of the first webinar, but we had close to 800 registrants total for these webinars. So a captive audience, a lot of people. And what we thought was we would get people to enroll into a more robust, longer term, deeper coach program that we've been creating. And that's not coming to pass. And so yesterday I was like in that attachment place, like, oh my God, I really need that thing. Not for me, it's not the quitting, but like a lot of people will be like, peace out. This didn't work. So I'm out of here. That's not me, but the other side is not so great either. But today, like a little while later, I'm realizing, okay, like I'm recentering myself into the commitment. I really care about this topic. I know I have something of value to offer. Emily does too. We have something to say. We have something to teach. We have experiences to share. We have coaching support to be able to offer to people. And most importantly, we know there's a need. I mean, that was loud and clear. So we got so many questions and a lot of engagement and a lot of pain. And quite frankly, what I would call workplace trauma around the experience of self-advocating and the humiliation and vulnerability that go along with that, especially when you either don't get what you want, or even in some areas, you might be punished for standing up for yourself. So what I'm doing right now is I'm editing. Like, I'm in the process of like re-grounding myself in what I'm committed to and working on getting back into that space. So commitment is more spacious. It allows for flexibility, and it reminds you that you're what for. The impact I'm trying to make is way more important than my ego. Resignation and attachment are about me. I'm either like, oh, I gotta get it. And I'm like, oh my God, why am I not getting it? Like, I suck or you suck. With attachment, it's like, there's a lot of F's. And for those of you who read my free press, not my free press article, the article where I was quoted, you unfortunately know that I am happy to drop an F-bomb here and there. But it's like, attachment is like, well, so is resignation. It's like, F you, F them, F this. There's a lot of F's. And resignation, F this, peace out. With commitment, there's actually no F's. It's just sort of like, I'm here, I care, I'm going to pivot, I'm going to think on this, I'm going to go back to the drawing board, what's working, what isn't working, and stay aligned and in this place of, I know I have something to offer, and I'm just going to figure out that secret sauce. So this was not shorter. And I hope you got something today. Have a great weekend.